I see two friends waiting. Hello, dear friends. Good evening. Such a beautiful, beautiful evening. It is very, very hot, and so I am thinking of going out or just stay in, and maybe I will go out a few hours later, sometime later. Excuse me if you if you if you hear the voice. I am so happy to see you, and it's too hot to go outside, so this is why I am doing this. And let me pull up my computer that I can see what I am talking about. It will be easier for me to see your comments. I am drinking a cup of jasmine green tea, and it's very, very, very light. So we can start from chatting about tea. When I travel, I do not drink tea. Now I am back home. I can have the proper amount of water, proper utensil, and the proper temperature control, so that I drink tea. And one friend asked what tea is good for digestion and something. I am not a medicinal person. I am not a doctor. I have no right, no reason to give any advice. But it's from a pure, just common sense or my experience. Okay, now I can see the comments. Oh, that's good. Okay, so I think when we do not have, when we have digestion problem, last night I did have digestion problem. I feel so bloated because it's so hot, and seems my body system nothing works. Drinking tea, drinking water, drinking soup, nothing works. I think in that moment, it's not that I am missing some energy or missing some nutrition, is that I have too much nutrition in my body. I should stop. So one thing to deal with digestion problem, which works for me, is drink nothing, eat nothing, use the intelligence of our body. Our body needs some time to rethink, to reset. We do not put in anything so that the body can try to figure out, oh, that's too much salt, that's too much sweet, that's too much juice in my body, that's too much meat in my body, whatever, too much vegetable in my body. It needs to take a rest. When I allow my body to take a rest, then I start to restart my life, my digestive system. So I think one of the best thing for me particularly is not to eat, not to drink. And the second best for me is to drink water, drink plain water. But plain water is just sometimes no flavor, and it's too plain to stimulate my body, to wake up my body. I can either use temperature, a little bit hot tea. I can use temperature, and I can use taste, a little bit of very pale tea. I do not drink strong tea when my body does not work well, when my digestive system does not work well. I drink very, 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 very pale tea. And this tea has been staying for, this is the third steeping, fourth steeping, something like it. Get the strength of tea away and drink something very pale, very light. That is something work for me. Now let's see what other things we have. That is the tea. And I am so happy to see all of you. Just a little bit bored, so thank you for accompanying me. Are we in the right Zoom? I think when I move, it is not in the right Zoom. The, the, the image is not very, very good now. Let me see. Oh, I cannot see your comments now. I can see. It's 2 a.m. Okay, any tip for people in college and don't know what to go in life? I was just thinking about it for going back to school. And just in this chaotic mindset, we do not talk about the political environment, atmosphere, political weather. We do not talk about the outside weather. I am talking about the atmosphere, the environment of my own mindset. So I do want to make a video, and I already thought about the title to my all dear students. Another one will be to my all dear teaching colleagues, something like it. So I was thinking about there are so many things we need to do. I need to prepare the lesson, and I need to prepare the classroom. I need to figure out a way to work with the energy set of class. I have many classes, 14 classes, and 140 students, more than 140 students, 180 students. Just remembering their name is a challenge. And every other week I see them one time. So it's a lot of challenge. It's very dizzy, and I just feel that too much things happening. And usually I listen to audiobook, and these couple of days I did not listen to any audiobook. I did not listen to other things. Whenever I try to listen to something, my mind is occupied. There is nothing I can put in. And I was stressed out. My family had a chat with me. And I had a very eye-opening and awakening and shocking dialogue with my family. It's really very, very helpful. So I was thinking, we all have this hard time, this trying to figure out time. There is nothing you can do, or there are things you can do. You can prepare yourself, you can overwork yourself. But eventually, something that works for me the best is that I suffer it, I endure it. I didn't prepare enough. I deserve my suffering. I deserve the stress. I deserve the frustration. Once you have this baseline, you understand that is something that everyone deal with, that we have to go through. You will have more understanding yourself and have more compassion. That's too big a word. You will have more accepting of yourself, right? And that's the karma I deserve. I didn't prepare enough. I had 2 months in traveling. I deserve to have a hard time to start my year. Once I put my mindset, accepting mindset, the pain feels much less pain. The stress is very stressful, still very stressful, but I accept it. It at least fundamentally, I get myself a little bit more prepared for it. And another thing is that however you prepare things, it's in your thought, in your mind. It's not in practice. So I had my class, the very class, my heart was jumping, and I went to school way early. I got up 6 o'clock, class started 8:30 something. I prepared very early, and still my heart cannot have this bum 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 jump. And the first class finished, I was feeling very bad. It just kind of good, kind of bad, but I do not feel successful. 2 weeks later, I look at the student artwork and I was depressed. I said, not depressed is too big word. I was very stressed out. I look at their painting, and just this time my son passed by. I said, oh, I'm so disappointed. Look at this painting. This is not pretty. We should not say this to students, but that is truth. It's just not put enough work in it. Students didn't put enough work in it. And then my son said, maybe you should explain it. Maybe you should explain how to improve. Make it clear what you want. I say it's art class, what I want. I want creativity. I want a certain guideline. And he said, even if a certain guideline, if you see this painting is disappointing, you must feel something in your heart that something does not work. How you can make it work? You can critique. You need to add outline for this painting. You need to add more shape in this painting. You need to add more color in this painting. So it's just I have enough preparation. I have a lot of preparation. 15 years, 20 years of teaching art, 30 years, 40 years doing painting things. I know it. It just suddenly too many things. My brain does not work. And after that, I start to think, well, there are things I can do. I do not overload myself. For 7 weeks, we do one project. How about it? We only do one project until we do it right. When you finish the project, you have your free drawing, you have your free time, you can do other things. Let's focus and put things in one thing, one time, one place, do it right. 有事吗，宝贝儿？没事，你可以进来。我的钥匙在这儿，对不起。对对对，钥匙没走。 Okay, let's continue. That's the son that give me advice. Another son also give me another advice. Okay, let's keep on. So I was not in a rush, do one thing at a time. So the next class, after 2 weeks, we came back again. I presented more sample. I presented some of the student successful work. Well, not successful work, some work that have a very clear goal and have a very clear, distinguished representation of their thought, of their idea. And showing this, it really helped the whole class to make things better. And the second class, we are not in a rush. Let's just do this. We do it the second time. And students, just by seeing more sample, by seeing more other students' work, it really bounced back a lot of good energy. And still there are students who does very different, who does not in the sense of aesthetic, but I am so happy because I didn't diminish some of the students' uniqueness. Art class is about beauty, but it's also not purely about beauty. I always want to make sure that I provide a non-judgmental environment, safe environment, to allow students to express themselves. For example, there was one piece of work you do not see. We work on pattern, so I want them to use square, any pattern, curve, line, any kind of pattern. It just does not show anything of it. And these students draw something just randomly. And then I saw maybe we can put the color more uniform. And I do on a piece of paper on the side, we do together. And then he put the color in, and still it does not have much character in that painting. Maybe we can outline a little bit. At the end of the day, it was, I think at the end of the day, he started to get the idea that teacher wants him to bring something bright, repetitive, showing off. Anyway, you get the idea, right? So we are not in a rush. I do one thing at a time. And another thing is that when you work with young children, with students, I was worried I didn't prepare enough. I didn't prepare the enough brush. I didn't prepare enough stamping material for stamping and things. No, do not worry about it. When you have an open heart, this idea comes out naturally. We do pattern design. So how about, is this a pattern? If we use this scrape on the line, right? That is a pattern. How about this? Can this be a pattern, a circle pattern? And anything can be a pattern. And how about this? This will be a pattern. Deep in the ink, make a circle, make a wave. There will be tons of ideas coming out. You can bring up Q-tip, all these things. So once you have opened up your mind, everything becomes possible, and there will be more idea than you originally, but then however you want to plan out, right? And the thing is just you need to try to control no disaster coming up. Do not get ink poured everywhere. Do not get color. Oh, why? The quality is so bad. What is going on? Let me stop a little bit. Is that because it does not distinguish because of the heat make the internet unable to to stream? Anyway, so give yourself the time. Do not yeah, it's my Wi-Fi. I think it's my Wi-Fi problem. I can see myself. You can see here. The quality is very, very bad. I think my Wi-Fi, I think my Wi-Fi must have some problem. Anyway, maybe later on YouTube can process the information. However, they process this information, I will just keep on talking. Oh, I got money. Thank you very, very, very much. I really appreciate whatever kind of support you are bringing in. I'm very grateful. So I do not want to make it a begging event. I sincerely appreciate your support. And let's come back to what we are going on. One friend asked how to prepare for going into life. Prepare for life. You live today to the best. You live today with attention. You live today and doing everything right for today. And that is enough. No need to overwork yourself. Even if you overwork yourself, it may not bring that much result. So what I am thinking, what I am trying to say, if you can do one thing and do it right, do it good, do one thing. If you have the ability to do two things, of course, do it. If you have ability to do three things, do it. If you do not have that ability, do one thing and make it right. My family also talk about the course choice. Before deciding the course, chat with friends, chat with classmates. Some take 3 courses, some take 4 courses, some take 5 courses, some take more courses. And he was kind of stressed out and feel pressure. Eventually, he made the right decision. He made the decision. He does what he can do. And I am very proud of it. When he explained the reason, I do one thing and do it right. And that's it. I do not rush too much into it. So do not push too much. Nature has its way. Use the intelligence of nature and accept yourself, accept your body. That will do good. And so eventually, for myself, things start to take shape. Now I realize I am over that first 2 weeks of school. Now I start to realize, it takes me more than 3 weeks to get myself ready, to get myself into the mood, to get myself into the swing. I deserve that stress, and eventually, with accumulated labor, with accumulated effort, things, do's, and accumulated progress, it reached to a point that it is okay. Now I can move on. And tomorrow there will be a new challenge to come. I'm not saying tomorrow is Saturday. I mean, later on there will be new challenges. And I will always be stressed out. But I will always remind myself that I deserve all the trouble. I deserve to have joy. I deserve to have pain. It's fair enough. Do I make any sense? Okay, now let's move on to the second questions. Oh, I am sorry if I do not read your name. I am not professional blogger. I am not a good YouTuber to greet you, to ask you pay money to. I talk my talk, and that's it. And if you are here, I know, because you accept me. I love you. Recently brought some oolong tea. Ah, that's great. I wish you do again. Inadvertent origami asthma. Oh, I need to. Aisha. I do need to do origami, and this is in this week's preparation. Next week, I will do origami. Okay, the origami, one of the projects I plan to do with students is origami, modular origami, several origami pieces and combine them together so it can become a flower, it can become a bowl, it become something that can move and become a ninja star, things like that. So I need to prepare it, and I need to do it. One of the thing about origami is that you do a lot of it, and then you get understand from the core of it. Whenever students have some doubts or have some mistakes, you can immediately see, oh, you got it upside down, you got it inside out, something. So I need to get back into that stage. Okay. Let's see. Why don't you drink tea when you travel? Can never travel without my thermal because I'm always drinking tea. I do not drink tea because when I travel, the water is, it might be too strong. It just do not have, not too much. If it is in a hotel room and have a kettle and have enough water for me to make tea, of course I drink tea. Nothing against it. What were your personal highlights from your summer abroad? My personal highlight, I think my personal highlight is when I when I am totally myself. When I am totally myself. That's my personal highlight. When I am, yeah, yes, that's it. Question. As a 17 years old, should I fear the future or the thought of getting old? 17 years old is the age of trying to figure out. I think it's just natural. And should you fear or should you not fear, you just cannot stop fear. And listening to old women like me to give you advice, it's no use. You live your life. You live your life. I was afraid of getting old when I was young. I think maybe exactly 17 years old or 14. Yeah, must be 16, 17 years old. I thought of suicide, not suicide. It's kind of a joke thing. Between girls, we say, I should die at 35 because life will be so, what can you live? Yeah. And if I, so you do not understand, we do not understand the fun of another age. You are at that particular age, you do not understand the life of another age. And one thing I try to tell myself, to remind myself, is appreciate the young. And the other day, I went to a class to see my students. It's been 1 year I didn't see them because of class change, because of schedule change, because of my job change. And then I went to see them again. I have no word. It was inspiring, beyond inspiring. I was totally in awe of seeing my student from first grade, now seventh grade, eighth grade. They paint, they greet you, they express, they have more knowledge, they can paint better, they can draw better, they can write better. It's so inspiring to see. You are one of them if you are 17 years old. If you are 17 years old, just remember, old woman like me, 60 years old woman, 70 years old woman, 50 years old woman, admire you because you have so much knowledge, skills that we do not have, and we cannot go back to life to have it again. If you have a good habit, keep it on. One thing I see them is that there was one student. He was always very careful in writing, and he wrote something. I wrote on the whiteboard. Now you copy this, and I wrote one kind of a slogan or some of the class theme, and I wrote it big and large, and then I check how they wrote. I walk around in class, totally impressed. So beautiful. They have the time. They are not in the pressure of standing in front to write something. So beautiful, so beautiful, so unique, so creative. You are 17. You are these people that we admire, we envy. Still afraid of getting old? Maybe we overthink. Let our life unfold, open up each day. If we live today right, that is okay. If today I didn't do anything, I only play game, I only staying at home, there's nothing wrong with it. You spend one day to learn a lesson. Tomorrow, I will not idle, will not waste my time. It's a lesson. Take it as a lesson. I saw one, I will not tell the story. It's too personal. It's my family. I will not tell that story. But we learned a good lesson, not telling everything to you. Okay, my lead has been spreading lies about me. Most of my team believes them. How do I address this gracefully? Ignore it. People listen to what they want to listen. If they decide not to listen to you, ignore it. Did you lose an arm? Did you lose a leg? Did you lose your salary? Did you lose your job? If you lose your salary, if you lose your job, that is the motivation. You go to another place, find a better job. It's time to move on. There is no regret. Whatever they say, the most graceful thing to do, ignore it. You do not need to fight back. So oftentimes, if you are celebrity, you fight back. You see, I do not look good. You feel I'm too fat. So I take off my clothes to show you how empowering I am. That's the, we are better than it. We are better than it. Ignore it. Where are you from, if you don't mind? I am from Beijing. What's your favorite tea? My favorite tea is pure tea. Any tea, different kind, but pure. Does not have too many flavors, artificial things. I do have a least favorite tea. I do not have a favorite tea. I do not have some, I do have some tea that I do not like. I envy people from Finland knowing 5 languages when you graduate high school. Why do you envy people from Finland? They know 5 languages. They learned. We can learn if we decide to learn. I wish I knew more than 2 languages. I know 2 languages, but I feel I have no more space. Maybe you have other skills that other people envy you, right? Some people are gifted in language. Some people are gifted in other things. Maybe we just need to try to find something we are good at. And seeing my students, seeing other people, this is another thing I want to say. I am so diminished. I feel I had a kind of crisis, lost the meaning. What is my value? What is my value? I went to France. I did not speak French, or I did not speak fluent French. I feel so diminished, feel so bad. And in the night, the whole night, could not sleep because just did not fit in. And eventually, I think I listened to it more, and there was one turning point. There was one time we had friends, we had a get together. It's already 1 month in France, and we start to chat. It's a chatting about going to museum, what museum, chatting about how the artist express themselves, something like that in my territory of talk. And suddenly I could speak so much, and it suddenly feels so good. So if we use our short side to compare with other people's strengths, we always feel bad. Use it as a motivation to improve myself, to improve yourself, but do not forget something I have, you do not have. Something you do not, you have, I don't have. It's just fair enough. You must have something. You do have something that the other people does not have. It does not have to be best in school, best in job. You have something unique. You can make the most delicious sauce. You can make the most tasty burger. You can speak one of the longest word. You can walk the longest distance. Something unique. You can play game the longest time. Something you do that people cannot compare with you. Do not make a comparison. It is the comparison that diminishes us. We always forget. I always forget it. This is why I make this video, to remind me. Sometimes just speaking it out, encourage me, remind me of that. Okay, let's see. I finally got a job after a year, but now I do not have any time left for myself. Different time, it's different phase in life. It's different phase in life. You have come to an age that needs your time. And the only time you can have, maybe we can make better use of the time we have, the commuting time, and meal preparation time. I cut cucumber, I cut vegetables, I do things, I do cooking as my pastime. It's save money, it's relaxing, it's better than go to a cooking class to get more stress. Yeah, you get the idea. And my family also, now we have a stress. We do have a restraint. Is that if I am having fun time in kitchen, my family cannot. So we try to figure out that if he is there, all yours. I am doing it later. We all take cooking time as a relaxation. So maybe commute time, or maybe meeting time, because majority of the meeting is a waste of time. Let's just be frank with it, or at least in my case, majority of the meeting is. So use a meeting time as a way to train distinguish noise. Are you a boss? If you are a boss, if you are my boss, oh, I am in trouble. You get the idea. You have no idea how much you helped me age through my young teenage years. Oh, thank you dearly. Start watching at 12, and here I am now turning 15. Thanks for your advice. 15 years old. You are exactly the age I am talking about, that I admire, that I envy. That student write very slow, very neat. I have their writing on my notebook. I have their writing on my notebook. You see my writing and you see their writing. I asked them to write down the list of material I need to prepare. So beautiful. I will not show you. It's private. I feel it's as a respect to them. I mean, I will keep on doing this. I will keep share with my little notebook to my students. That is a bit dirty. I have chocolate in it, get dirty. Yeah, and so that it's kind of a reminder I can always see in my little notebook. They write so beautifully, and I can see their style. I can see their character. They amaze me. You amaze me. 15 years old, you amaze me. 17 years old, you amaze me. Let's talk about all the age. 14 years old, 15 years old, 16, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59. I admire all of you. 我们说到14了，13、12、11、19、8、7、6、5、4、3、2、1。I admire. Okay, done with the number. I admire every of you. 24, you are in it. 38, you are in it. Not yet find. I'm 38 and haven't found love yet. Any advice? Friends, comment. Please help. We have one gentleman. Yeah. When you are ready and nature is ready, environment is ready, it will come. That's as good as I can say. I am 22 and a failure. Maybe too early to say. Too early to say. Too early to say. I started YouTube channel 15 years ago at 45. Now I make a YouTube channel, 170K subscribers. It's not a success. It's something that you keep on doing, you love doing and do it right. There will be a result coming. We define failure, success, with a standard society way of decide. The other day, as I was driving, I was thinking, success. Am I a successful parent? How do you decide? How do you define success parent? I heard some parents in this swimming pool my son is, or my daughter is in Stanford and busy choosing class. I think I made my effort to put my children to school. I work hard so that they can live a life not worrying about money, not pressured to go to a certain school, not pressured to get a certain job, to be in certain career profession. That is successful. 儿孙自有儿孙福. You can provide that basic. The rest 是他自己的造化. It's their future. There are mathematic professors from the most esteemed university become a serial killer, become what is that called? Bomb threatener, kill a lot of people. There are people from all sorts of life. If we define success or failure into other people's standard, we are not living our life. I am happy to drive. We should be happy to drive a car, whichever brand, because it takes us to places. We should be happy to have a room because we do not need to be outside. Eat lobster, eat vegetable, eat pickle, whatever. It stuffs our stomach, and happiness is internal. I think one thing about failure and happiness is so much, and energy is so much depending on the purpose of life. If I feel I have a meaning of my life, I have a goal, I have a purpose, I am happy and I have energy. If I do not have that, let's put it very directly, very practically. If I do not have easy order to ship, the painting to sell, the jams, the cookies to sell, I feel lost. I do not have a purpose. The other day, one friend, and after 2 months traveling, I almost did not receive any order. I feel quite lost because I'm not wanted. I am not needed. The other day, I got one order. After so long time, I got one friend giving me my very first order after 2 months. Fill me with joy, because that's put in a meaning of my life, put in a purpose of my life. And you, 95 of you, look at the screen, 96 of you, 97 of you, spend your time, listen to my no sense talk nonsense, ridiculous talk, not ridiculous, that we talk together, 98 of you. It's, you save my life. You put a purpose on my life. You save my life. I was almost fall asleep before this. I decide maybe make a video will at least get me back. And it actually get a lot of us back. 101. And we are such a loving people together. And this is so good. And I chat with others, and some people say you should do more. My family say you should have a schedule. For example, my son listens to some podcast at a scheduled time, so he knows at this time I can spend my evening and do my things, and with my earphone set here, and do my things, do my work, do my game, do my other things. I think that's a good idea. I will more or less irregularly regular doing this kind of chat. So let's start from here and now, because it's so good. It fills me. Yes, Blue Rose, it's because of you. It is because of you. I remember one time I said I lost my subscriber, and you said it's because you didn't do live, and it is true. Okay, write down anything we would like to chat, to discuss. Not advice. I am not so good. The advice is in this, is in the chat. Write down anything. Next time we will just one by one walk through it. If we have more things about stress, if we have more things about how to eat fresh homemade meal, something like it, anything. If we, yeah, all these things, write it down, and then we can make it more regular. And I'm not inviting you to join all of this, but just providing a kind of regular, at this time I can tune in to do my cooking, to do my other things, and participate wholeheartedly or half-heartedly. That is a good idea, I am thinking. That is a good idea. I will, and my life is starting to be more calm down. I have get over that very chaotic beginning stage of school year. Now it's getting better. We can regularly make up a schedule. Yeah, write down your time, what time you want to have, and frequency, so that I can practice my language, my way of talk. For 2 months, I didn't make this video. I feel I am a little bit rusty in expressing myself. So-called residents here, how was your trip to San Diego a while back? It was one of the best. San Diego, it was so good. And also family-wise, for a long time we didn't have a time together, and this time it's just turns out very good, very good. I love it, and I want to go there again, whether driving there or, yeah, definitely. There is so much to see, to enjoy. Yeah. And I also want to go to some never been to place. I want to go to South Carolina, Charleston. I have been there one time. So Nashville, some place. It just sounds so romantic to me. It sounds so exotic, sounds so tempting to me, something different from where I live. People different, yeah. People are different, and the way of life are different. And there is one thing always the same. Our humanity is the same. Even if we hold different idea, we eat different food, we drive different car, we live differently. There is something that can communicate. The heart can communicate. And I want to see that. And I want to feel that. Tea tree, you try. Oh, so comforting. Tea tree, you tried. That worked. It had raw honey and lemon juice and raw garlic and raw ginger. The rest of me was reduced. Oh, yes, I did say Nashville. Nashville. I did say Nashville. I haven't been there. Nashville. Yang Haiying, long time listener, first time caller. Oh, whoa. Thank you for putting out content. Your conversation are so soothing to hear. Thank you. Let's see. I am sorry if I jumped through some and not seeing. Have you heard of the? Yes, yes, that's why. Pantheon, yes. You know what? Where are you? It's yes. Where are you? Yes, yes. Pantheon there. It was the Pantheon. I think in the world there is one place they remake the Greek Pantheon, exactly replicate of it. So this is the reason I want to go there to see it. And in Greece, I checked around it. That's the reason I mentioned about Nashville. And there is another place who had Asina. I forgot, but anyway, I want to go to this place. It's because of Greek mythology and Greek temple. Yes. Your wife is genuine, and I admire your free spirit. Have you been to Philadelphia? Yes, I have been to Philadelphia with family, but I want to go there just by myself. And I think that I like to go to places by myself so that I do not have a time frame. I do not have a particular stopping point frame. Go there and spend my time my way. That's the best way that I enjoy. Yes, there is a full-size replica of Asina. Yes, yes, in Nash. Yes, full-size Asina. She has a small figure in her hand. The small figure by itself is 8 feet tall. Wow. Is that Nike? Yeah, it might be Nike in the hand of Asina. Heard about the story. I do not remember it. and too busy with my job, so didn't need to prepare myself and go to Nashville. Definitely, I want to go to Nashville. Wow. What was your favorite part about your week or day? I think evening is my favorite part of the day. Morning and evening, I am not very much a daytime person. Morning, just woke up. If I get up early enough with good energy restored, evening, I am relatively a night person, so evening I feel good. Okay, we have been there together almost 1 hour, or more than 1 hour, more than 1 hour. I will check all your comments and so good to see you. I will check all your comments and think about next time and think about if it is good to make a schedule. Sometimes this time, come back to work, there is one thing I am so happy is that Manuel, is that I go to work, I get up early in the morning. If I do not go to work, if I do not have a time frame, my life will be totally a mess. So if we get into a workable schedule of us meeting face to face, that will be really, that will be good for all of us. I do have a podcast. I see one friend mention about podcast. You can put out a podcast with listen to you, which be coming. Okay, let me put my podcast. What platform you use? I use Anchor. The podcast is on Spotify also. Let me be a little bit proactive in my marketing. I will show you my podcast Anchor, and you can sign up. You can. Oh, sorry, not in this window. Not in this window. Oh, oh, oh. Let me open up a new window. Give me 1 minute, Anchor, so that at least we solve one problem. In podcast, public site, good. Okay, okay, okay. So, yes, so here I am putting in my podcast. This is my podcast. And yeah, you can see that link is my podcast. If you would like to support, if you would like to listen to. And some of the old ones may have some noise, but now mostly talking. I do not upload every video. I do not convert every video into podcast. Something like today might become a podcast, but no, I did not record it. Some voiceover and things. Anyway, from Australia, I find you have really touched my heart with your genuine spirit and compassion of others. What is your favorite place that you have visited? Oh, I do not have every place I visited, I just cannot say one place, my favorite. Every place can be good, can bring joy, can bring pain, can bring, it's very much depend on your feeling. The place I am happy is when I am myself and exploring every place. I do not have one favorite place. 有事吗？你要拿东西，看不见你没关系，你可以进来，没事，没事，没事。好的，我也该结束了。
没事，
没事，外面现在凉快了，你再往那边一点点，别人都看见你了。打不来的是不辣，打不来的是不。
tablette. She melt the tablet.
你去游泳吗？
我早上去了。
哦，那幸好，好的 ，OK。好的，关门吧。I speak French, Chinese. Chinese took me 60 years to learn to speak. English took me 50 years. I think I started from 50, 45 years, 40 to 50 years to learn. And French, 1 year to learn. I went to France to and then speaking it randomly. You have a beautiful, beautiful evening. I love you. I really do. Do. I am off for my time. Bye bye. So good to see you. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye. How do we do this? How come? I don't know how to do. This is good. It's my method at least. Oh yeah, they do this way. No, the heart is a little. No, this way is prettier. Bye bye. Index finger. The heart is too fat. It's too fat. This one. Just index finger. Okay, make a video show me how to do it. Bye bye.